fail, reject, do it over again, etc., etc. So that's what I was faced with. That's why I haven't posted videos in a couple of months. And the process took almost 6 months to the day to get my license renewed, which is ridiculous. I got my license in '78. It was a simple annual renewal. I used to go down there in person, present my paperwork. It was relatively simple. As the years went on, they actually changed the annual renewal to a 3-year renewal with a 7-hour refresher course, which is not a problem. You go sit in for 7 hours, you get a certificate, and you have to present that certificate along with paperwork that has evolved over the years. Now, it used to be, one form, your insurance information, and that was it. Now it's evolved into, child support proof that you don't pay child support. This is the first year I had to take a physical exam. I had to go to my doctor and they had to examine me and state that I was physically able to perform my job. And because of COVID, we weren't allowed to go down in person anymore. We had to actually take all the documentation, upload it to a portal, and then a quality assurance person would review all the paperwork and they would either approve or reject it. And in my case, I kept getting rejections. Now, in all fairness, there were a couple of things that maybe I left out. I didn't fill out whatever line they were telling me I didn't fill out. But basically, it's not that they were telling me, they were just rejecting me and saying, you have to correct form XYZ. But they wouldn't tell me what I had what was wrong. They would just say, rejected, do it over again, reproduce it or resubmit it, and we just started doing this back and forth thing, which was ridiculous. Now, they told me that there's like a 3-day turnaround, 3 days we'll get back to you. Well, in a lot of cases, 3 days turned into 2 weeks. So from the time they actually responded to me, 2 weeks. I would submit the paperwork, another 2 weeks, rejected, etc., etc. So I was getting pissed off. Needless to say, I was getting pissed off. So let me just go over with you. I'm going to take some of this paperwork out here, and I'll go over some of the emails I got from the people at the DOB. And, you tell me. But basically, I'm a master plumber here in New York City. So in New York City, a master plumber's license, I'm going to read here. So a renewal fee for a master plumber's license is $150, okay? So if you're late between 1 and 30 days, it's going to cost you an extra $50. If you're late 31 days or greater, it's $100. I absolutely qualified because I kept getting rejected. There is a plate renewal fee. Now, a plate is an 8x10 plastic plate that I have to have displayed in my window. Has my corporate name on there, my name, and my license number. That's $100 for the renewal. So far, we got a $150 renewal fee. I have a $100 late fee. I have a $100 renewal fee. And I have a $75, get this, fee for this stupid seal. This is the seal where you seal documentation that has your license number, your name, etc., etc. So that's to get things started. This is what the fees are when you renew your master plumber's license, okay? Now, let's quickly go over the paperwork. We're not going to go crazy. So you have the LIC2, which is the license application, which has got to be filled out. There's two parts to this. There's page 1, there's page 2, and at the end of page 2, you have to get it notarized. So, and because I got rejected so many times, I had to keep going back to the Notary Republic because I had to redo the form. And every time I redid the form, I had to go get it re-notarized. So that's the basic application with all the information, your corporate information, your name, your address, all the information that they need to prove who you are, basically. So that is one part of it. Another part of it is your certificate of liability. So this is my certificate of liability that I have insurance. I, in fact, have insurance. That's now, because I'm a single man, operated company, I don't have any employees, I could apply for a waiver from the state of workers' comp and disability insurance. And this is the waiver. It's a special waiver, which got rejected several times because they said, well, I'll read what they said. So with me, I had my insurance, I had my waiver. Fine. This is the best one. Child support. I had to fill out a certificate proving that I don't pay child support. Because apparently, if you pay child support and you don't pay your child support, they're not going to renew your license. Okay? Thank God that doesn't apply to me. The physical examination. This is new. I had to go to my doctor. In my case, I went to my cardiologist. They had to fill this out saying I was physically able to perform my job. Here's my certificate of completion. I took my 7-hour course. Okay. Now, I had gotten several failures. You know, they kept rejecting. I kept uploading. They kept rejecting. They said there was a 3-day turnaround time, and I got to tell you, in most cases, it was 2 weeks. So I would upload the papers. I wouldn't hear anything for 2 weeks. And in a lot of cases, I was so pissed off, I didn't even, get back to them for 2 weeks. But anyway, so I upload the paperwork. 2 weeks, they get back to me, telling me, correct this, correct that, and the other thing. Re-uploaded another 2 weeks before they get back to me. And this is going back and forth. And then when I would resubmit the paperwork, they said, oh, you have to, you failed because the date on this is beyond the 30-day limit, and it's got to be done over again. So back to the doctor. He had to, redate one of the forms. They actually, they turned my doctor's physical exam down 3 times. Once for the date, once because my doctor, signed it, and then there was another place on the documentation where his PA or physician's assistant signed it. They knocked it down because they said the 2 signatures had to be the same. I mean, PA whatever, they knocked it down. Then when the doctor resubmitted me the physical exam, I will say this is stupid, but he failed to put my name in where it said I have examined, and they left my name out. I mean, come on, doc. But I got knocked down, so that's 3 times. Now, this is what I would get, and I'm going to read this to you, but basically, every time I would get an email in the subject line, it would say, read that, see what it says? Failed, 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 failed. So this one here, it says, we are unable to complete the processing of your renewal application. A quality assurance staff member reviewed your master plumber's license renewal application number, blah, 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 and is requesting that the following information be provided for corrections to be made before we can proceed. Now get this. Must submit 2nd page of LIC2. So that's the original license application, okay? Must submit. They've already got this. I've been uploading documents since July. I've uploaded these documents multiple times. But according to them, they're saying they never got it. Child support. They got my child support. It was uploaded. Scan of my license card. That's the card I carry in my wallet. They've got that. I uploaded it. Needs updated version of liability insurance. I don't know what that means. Waiver must be correct. What does that mean, waiver must be correct? They don't tell me what needs to be corrected. Resubmit LIC 62 because the doctor forgot to put your name where he certified that he examined you. And I just would get these things and look at them in disbelief and saying they're telling me what's wrong, but they don't tell me exactly what needs to be corrected. So I shoot them off a response. And this is my response to them. And this went on for all different reasons. All this, again, August 24th, 2020 is when my license expired. It got renewed on March 16th, 2021. So I responded to this saying, you've rejected my paperwork continually since July of 2020. My license expired August 24th, 2020. Look at your latest rejection and please clarify. A, LIC2 and child support have been previously submitted. B, what does updated liability insurance mean? Question mark. Clarification needed. What does waiver needs to be corrected mean? Question mark. Correct what? Specifically. You have a scan of my license card already. If you can't find it, you must have lost it. I've already contacted Channel 7 and Channel 2 News, by the way, which I did. Well, I contacted them via email. And just for the record, they never got back to me. About the abuse the department is putting me through. If you can't expedite the renewal of my license, you will be hearing from them next. I'm done. My name, my phone number, etc., email. Okay? So, 2 weeks go by. This is what I get back from them. Thank you for contacting the New York City Department of Buildings. General inquiries will receive a response within 3 business days. Request for supersedes and withdrawals may take up to 3 weeks. That's not true. 3 weeks went by. I shoot him off another email. What is the status of my renewal? I've submitted my paperwork approximately 2 to 3 weeks ago and still have not heard back. So this is going on from August. And in between, I would take a week off or 2 weeks off because it was just a futile effort just trying to deal with the building department. So anyway, I called around to a couple of my colleagues in the business, other licensed plumbers, and I was trying to see if I could get a name. Oh wait, before I go there, I actually at one point went down. I says, I'm driving down there. I have to get this settled. So I drive down to the building department because I'm determined to get this settled. You know what kind of a pain in the ass it is to take a commercial vehicle and park it down in New York City, especially during this COVID thing. By the way, the COVID thing's going on, the mask, the whole 9 yards. I go in, I get to the door. A guard says to me, how can I help you? I says, I'm here to renew my license. And she calls this giant guy over. I mean, the guy must have been 7 foot tall. He comes over to me. He says, how can I help you? I says, I'm here to renew my license. He goes, oh, you can't renew your license in person. He says, you have to do this online. I says, listen, pal, I've been doing this since July. I've been trying to get this done. I'm getting rejected. I'm getting no satisfaction. Nobody's telling me what needs to be done. He goes, no. He says, you can't. He goes, go on. And they had little computer stations over there. He goes, go on the computer there and pull up all your information. He says, and I'm going to help you. We're going to fill out the form together. So we go through this whole ridiculousness that I've been doing over and over again, 16,000 times. He goes, you're going to fill out the paperwork, then you're going to get it notarized. I says, when am I going to get a notary? He says, don't worry. There's a guy walking around. He calls him over. He says, hey, come over here. As soon as this guy finishes filling out the paperwork, you notarize his paperwork. Guy notarizes my paperwork. I pay him the $2, $3, whatever the case may be. Then the gentleman says, come with me. He takes my paper. We walk over to this bin, look like a big mailbox, and he dumps it in there. He goes, you're all set. He goes, you'll get a response in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. He goes, no. He said, that's it. You can leave and everything will be done online. Anyway, needless to say, 2 weeks go by and I get a rejection. I don't know what the reason was this time. I'm getting tired of even thinking about this. It's getting me so freaking aggravated. Anyway, so I get back, I get rejected. So I call up a couple of colleagues of mine, other licensed plumbers that I know. I mean, that I grew up with. We all have our own businesses. And one of them has a pretty big shop, and dealing with the building department all the time, and I said, do you guys got a contact that I could call or shoot an email off to, somebody of authority, because I'm getting tired of requesting corrections and nobody's giving me satisfaction. So I got a name of a guy, and the girl told me, she says, please don't say where you got, don't tell him where you got his name from, because he's a nasty SOB and he's just condescending, etc., etc. I says, don't worry about it. I won't mention anything. So I get this guy's information, and I won't say anything on this video about him, but let's just call him Mr. X. Actually, we'll call him Mr. H. Dear Mr. H, I've secured and have been renewing my master plumber's license since 1978 without issue. Always in person, always on time, except 2020. I started this process in July 2020, and because the submissions are being interpreted by different examiners, I'm getting rejection after rejection. This latest one, please see below, claims that the second page of LIC2 is missing. Not true. The child support form is missing. Not true. A scan of my license card is missing. Not true. They're requesting an updated version of my certificate of liability. What exactly do they mean? They are not being specific. Waiver of workers' comp disability is not correct. Again, what does this mean? I need specifically what they're referring to. I'm attaching what they rejected to see if you agree. So I uploaded all the documents that they rejected. I am one pissed off 70-year-old plumber who is determined to get answers with all due respect to you. I've contacted Channel 7 News on your side and told not only of my story of abuse, but countless others who are currently experiencing the same issue as myself. I'm not the only one here. Bear that in mind. I can't conduct business with an expired license, and the department holds my livelihood in its hands. And then everybody wonders why plumbers go around and perform illegal plumbing work. The department is making a seemingly simple process a nightmare for no other reason, in my humble opinion, than to abuse the hardworking men and women who broke their asses to acquire the necessary trade license so they can make a living. Your response is appreciated. Well, needless to say, I didn't get a response from Mr. H. But what I did do is got a phone call from someone while I was out of the office. And I looked at my phone, I looked at the message, and it said, please call back a Mr. Leo Decker in reference to your plumber's license. And I had called Leo Decker, and by the way, Leo is a female. And she asked me if I was in the office. She says she wanted to go over a couple of things with me about my paperwork. And I said, I wasn't in the office. I says, but I can be, I'll be in the office tomorrow. She says, well, I'm only here on Mondays. Okay, listen, I've been waiting since July. Another week is not gonna hurt. This was on a Monday. I was out of the office. I couldn't be back at the office. So the following Monday, I called up Leo Decker, and she said, one by one, she said, Form X, Y, Z. It amounted to 7 pieces of paper. And she specifically stated to me on each one which line where the issues lied. And I said to her, but Leo, she goes, on this one, this needs to be changed. On that one, she goes, but you didn't upload this, you didn't upload. I says, Leo, I uploaded everything. I uploaded copies of these documents at least 10 different times. So you got 10 different copies or 10 different versions of the, she goes, but they're not here. Well, if they're not there, then somebody deleted them. What do you want me to? Anyway, I says, you know what, Leo? I'm going to do exactly as you tell me. So let's go over these 7 pieces of paper one by one, and that's what we did. So the following day, I actually, I went over, I refilled out everything. I had to do some I did a little photocopying, a little whiteout here, whatever I had to do, because there was no way I was going back to my doctor again. So to have her do the form again. So we did a little creative photoshopping, whatever the case may be. And I got everything together. I went on the portal and I uploaded them, and I shot Leo an email. And I said, Leo, I have just uploaded all the papers exactly the way you told me to do them. I just want to let you know this is today's date, and I'm going to wait and see what happens. And lo and behold, 3 days later, I got an email. It said approved. I was like, I'll be a SOB. It got approved. Leo Decker is a genius. So I actually called her back, and she didn't pick up the phone. This was the following, it was a Monday. And I got her voicemail, and I said, Leo, I just want to thank you for your help. I mean, you've been wonderful. Without you, I don't think I would have gotten this done. But again, and Mr. H didn't have the decency to get back to me, but he put Leo Decker in charge, and props to Leo Decker from the Department of Buildings in New York City. Thumbs up, because without her, my license wouldn't have gotten renewed. So that's the dilemma I faced. That's the BS I've been through since August, and that's the reason why for 2 months I didn't post videos, because I had to get this renewed. Now, fortunately for me, I don't really pull many permits because I'm doing small repair work, service and repair work. But for the guys who do, alterations, renovations, anybody who's doing gas work, you need to have your license. And a lot of guys are currently going through the same thing that I went through. And I just wanted to make this video to let why it took me so long to put up another video. But it's wrong. The Department of Building just abuses the shit out of everybody. And I think they enjoy it. I would say to my wife, I'd say, watch, I'm going to upload these documents. And they probably sit there and laugh. They go, oh, look, he uploaded the documents again. And they probably have fun, checking off what's not right and sending them back to me, telling them this is wrong, that's wrong, the other thing's wrong, but never telling me what I have to correct. Anyway, that's my dilemma. But what I want to do is, before I leave you, I want you to check out a video by this guy. Now, he's an Asian chap, and I got to tell you, he's a little hard to understand. But one of my customers actually sent me this video because he actually said there's not much about the building department on YouTube, and he found this. And his channel is called Sunny Days. I'll leave the link in the cards above and down below this video. And actually, the video is dated October 21st, 2020. And the title of the video is Let's Talk About the New York City DOB. Now, if you get offended by dirty language or kind of little blue jokes or stuff like that, then you know what? I suggest you don't watch it. The guy basically, he's got it down pat. Now, he's a young kid. I don't know how old he is, but he's a contractor in New York City. You don't. It doesn't take much to get an HIC contractor's license. I mean, I also hold that as well. But he goes over the bureaucracy and all the bullshit that the building department puts you through, and what happens when you want to make a simple little repair, and because of the system, how things take way longer than they should, and they cost way more than they should. Again, he's a little hard to understand, but he's right on point. I understand where he's coming from. And now, if you're somebody that knows nothing about the building department or the process, you may not find it entertaining. I think the guy could be a stand-up comedian. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And at the end of the video, he notes the 2015 gas explosion that took place here in New York City, in which an unlicensed contractor went in and they jumped out the gas meters. in order to give the tenants gas or the restaurant gas upstairs, and as a result the building exploded. As a matter of fact, I did a video about that. I'll also link that video down below and in the cards up above. Go check that out. And but in a nutshell, Sonny's got it down pat as far as the abuse and the billing department, and that's just it. So guys, you know, that was my dilemma. That's why I didn't post videos. I hope it didn't bore the hell out of you. I know I drone on, but that's the way I am. And yeah, so I got my license March 16th. It renewed, and it's a 3-year deal now. But, you know, it's 3 years from August. Now, they should have tacked on an extra 6 months, but they didn't. So my license now expires August of 23, August 24th of 2023. Hopefully by that time, I wouldn't have to renew my license because I'll be out of the business. But anyway, so guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. You might want to hit that notification bell and listen. Oh, hit the like button. YouTube wants you to hit that like button. Otherwise, I don't show these videos to anybody. And check out one of these 2 videos that may pop up here to your right. One of them I chose, one of them YouTube chose. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and watching the video. Again, I know it was long. I droned on, but what can I tell you? You don't know half the story. This is the abbreviated version of what went on, because a lot of the emails got lost. Anyway, I want to thank you for stopping by. I look forward to seeing you in my next one. And as always, folks, happy plumbing.